Hi everyone! This lesson is about conditional sentences with modal verbs. Conditional sentences using modals. Conditional sentences are statements discussing known factors or hypothetical situations and their consequences. Complete conditional sentences contain a conditional clause, often referred to as the if clause, and the consequence, often referred to as the main clause. That's to say, if a certain condition is true, then a particular result happens. Consider the following points. There are four types of conditional sentences. It's important to use the correct structure for each of these different conditional sentences because they express varying meanings. Pay attention to verb tense when using different conditional modes. Use a comma after the if clause when the if clause precedes the main clause. Take a look at this photo and describe what you may decide to do if you are confronting the same scene. You might say, if there is bad traffic today, I might just stay at home. This is a conditional sentence using a modal. We are going to look at conditional sentences using the modals can, must, may, and might instead of will. The conditional used with these modal verbs is usually the first conditional. The first conditional is a structure we use when we want to talk about the possibilities in the present or the future. Its purpose is to show the consequences, possibilities, or condition when spoken in the present. Consider the structure. If clause followed by the main clause structure is made the following way. If followed by the present simple, followed by a comma, and then add the main clause, which is the subject, followed by a modal, followed by a base verb. Now look at the example. If there is bad traffic, I might stay at home. Now let's take a look at the modal verbs one by one. First, let's take a look at the modal verb can. The modal verb can is used to indicate ability or possibility. Let's look at some examples. If we increase our use of solar energy, we can decrease our dependency on oil. Your phone can help you get to work if you know how to use it correctly. You can also use the conditional sentences in the negative. If we don't improve our public transportation, then we can't reduce the traffic. You can't decrease your electricity consumption if you don't turn off your lights. Now let's take a look at the modal verb must. The modal verb must is used for strong obligations, as we see in the following examples. If you visit Singapore, you must see the super trees. If our city begins to grow, we must protect our green spaces. They must be on time if they want to carpool to work. Now, in the negative. You mustn't go downtown in the evening if you don't want to be stuck in traffic. Finally, let's take a look at the modal verb may and might, which have similar uses. Actually, may is the present tense form and might is the past tense form of may. The modal verb may is used to express possibility or permission. Let's look at some examples. If we improve our agricultural systems, may we receive cheaper food? The planners may transform the city's energy supply if they are given enough time and resources. Finally, we use the modal verb might describes a possibility in the distant future. For example, the designers might improve their energy efficiency if the city decides to improve their solar infrastructure. The city's air quality might improve if they planted more trees. The negative would be, The city might not succeed with its energy needs if they don't find alternative sources. Now, let's see if we can use these modal verbs and conditional sentences in context. Let's practice.